In February 2017, NDCL students were asked to complete digital literacy tasks as part of the blended learning for English classes. These tasks were developed and are being studied by the Stanford History Education Group. In their executive study, the researchers point out, "Never have we had so much information at our fingertips. Whether this bounty will make us smarter and better informed, or more ignorant and narrow-minded, will depend on our awareness of this problem and our educational response to it." If you'd like to read the entire executive summary, visit bit.ly/xsummary. So, are you curious how we did? Let's look at each task one by one, starting with homepage analysis. The Stanford researchers considered this a middle school level task. For the 3 identified parts of this Slate.com homepage, you were asked whether or not it was an advertisement and how you could tell. Woohoo! As a school, 86% of NDCL students were considered at the mastery level for this task. Most people correctly identified that this was an advertisement and explained what gave it away. For example, the company logo, a coupon code, the phrase limited time only. Keep in mind for all of the charts, blue is the best. On this and all of the remaining graphics, the big pie chart is the overall, and the 4 smaller ones go in order, left to right, from freshmen to seniors. Much fewer NDCL students were able to correctly identify this as not being an ad. This is a traditional article. You can tell because it lists an author and doesn't have the phrase sponsored content or a little blue X to close like an ad would. An interesting trend emerges here. Looking across the grade levels, we see an overall improvement. Still, just over half of seniors were able to correctly identify this as an advertisement and explain why. The big giveaway that this is an ad is the phrase sponsored content. That means a company developed this content and paid Slate to put it on their homepage. Even though it looks kind of like an article, it is truly an advertisement. Evaluating evidence was considered a high school level task by the Stanford researchers. On March 11, 2011, there was a large nuclear disaster at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant in Japan. This image was posted on Imager, a photo-sharing website, in July 2015. Does this post provide strong evidence about the conditions near the Fukushima Daiichi power plant? Explain your reasoning. This post does not provide strong evidence. Anybody can upload images to Imager. There's no proof that this photo was taken anywhere near Fukushima or that nuclear radiation caused the strange growth. The image could be photoshopped. Also, check out that username. It does not make me trust the user. In the Stanford study, only 20% of high school students were considered at the mastery level for this task. So, NDCL students did much better than that population, but we clearly still have a lot of learning to do in the way of evaluating evidence. The final task, evaluating claims on social media, was college level. You were asked to look at this tweet and figure out how it could be useful as well as how it might not be useful as a source of information about NRA members' opinions. Also, you should have included sources you used to make these determinations. What's your prediction for how well we did as a school overall? This tweet could be considered a useful source because it contains poll results from a professional polling firm, Public Policy Polling. Only about a quarter of NDCL students were able to identify this as a positive indicator of usefulness. Were you close on your prediction? This same tweet might not be a useful source because Public Policy Polling, as well as Move On and the Center for American Progress, are all left-leaning organizations. Their political goals may have influenced the way the poll was written, conducted, or presented. About 80% of students didn't seem to notice anything concerning about this conflict between source and information. In order to find out that those organizations are left-leaning, you would have had to do some extra Googling. We hope this didn't make you feel like these guys, but if it did, don't worry. We're working on integrating the skills you'll need to better understand information online so that you can feel more like this.